What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the Build the One Half Scale Darth Vader from Fanhome, and an entire pack. I was kind of like looking ahead, and I think we're just going to do all of this. Now, I think this might be kind of the way that I approach things, unless there's a ton of work to do in a stage. I've got a lot of part works that I'm building now, and in order to keep myself sort of sane on it, I think we're going to be going into a rotation where I follow, like, every time I release a part work episode, it's going to follow the same rotation. And in order for that to kind of work, I need to kind of work through and do entire stages. Now, obviously, or entire shipments. Now, obviously, if there's a complicated episode, or a stage or what have you, we will get into it and we'll deep dive into it and only do just a little bit. But for the most part, I think we're going to go ahead and attempt to do as many stages as possible. So today in our shipment, I believe it's shipment 4 or 5. I believe it's shipment 4. If could it be 1, 2, and then you get 3, 4, 5. And then we got 6. So this is shipment 4. Yep, sorry, doing some math. In shipment 4, it's going to be pretty quick. There's not a whole lot to do. We're going to be working on more of his chest plate and more of his armor, and getting a little bit more detail work done around the neck and inside the helmet and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's get to building in stage 15 and quickly wrap up, which is likely going to be a pretty quick episode. All right, here is the magazine. Let's go ahead and zoom in real quick. It's a nice little side shot of the model there. Ah, yes, the Zeiston class. These are the ones that were the ones that Emperor Palpatine, when he came back from Mexico. Oh, the sequel trilogy. I wish you didn't suck. And as a reminder, if you'd like to read any one of these pages, go ahead and pause, and you're free to read. Just talking about how the First Order sucked, and anyway, Deidre Miro. Obviously, this was written before season 2 had been fully produced, but let me tell you, her season 2 performance was out of control in Andor season 2. I have to say, one of the very best written bad guys that Star Wars has ever had. Very well acted. She just nailed it. This is just a wonderful actress. And she just portrayed this horrible human being. How she got hers in the end was also pretty fantastic. All right, getting into our parts, our instructions, and here we go. And as a reminder, as always, I'll be following along with my build at mydarthvader.com. It is a much easier site to follow, and he often makes more sense of the parts that we are getting. So let's go ahead and get said parts opened up. This is going to be much of a repeat of what we have done before already. So we're going to cover just a little bit of it, and then we'll move on. So we have some of our flat screws, so our flange screws. Let's go ahead and get... These are eye screws, as we are finding out. There we go. And then we have some A screws. And then some of our round clips. So simply you're going to get those out onto the table because we are about to use these now. No need to worry about putting them in their own container. Beautiful. And go ahead and get that out of the baggie and do something stupid. I know. Take off our wrapping. I just don't want to keep dealing with it over time. Gotta be completely real. Okay, so let's get over to our instructions. And what we're going to be doing is very simply the same thing as we have done before. And we're going to be putting these 4 clips onto these 4 posts right here. and they're all going to be facing up and down so as they can clip in and lock into place in the next stage with the ones that match up over here. So we're going to go ahead and do one of those together. In order to do that, we're going to use a type A, and we are going to get it onto the post, I say. Just like so. And work on getting it screwed in. Now, for these inner ones, I am actually finding that getting yourself a smaller screwdriver. Where did I put you? There we go. So getting a smaller screwdriver just like this is actually a very effective tool. So I went ahead and magnetized the screwdriver. Because getting into these tiny little spots back here is a bit of a challenge. And I did forget about that. And I was like, I could have just done this without. But just like so. And screw it in place. And then when you get it screwed in, you want it so that the post, or the little flat thing that we just installed, is sitting straight up and down. Yep. Just like so. Move it back just a little bit. Totally fine to leave a little bit of play in there. No big deal. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that with these other three, and I'll be right back. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my rubber rings here. That was from issue number 10. And what we're going to do is we are going to get this shoulder mounted up just like so. So to do that, what I've found, get our rubber bands or washers, I think is what they actually are. Rubber tweezers. I like to get them all on one side. Just like so. Okay. Mount up the shoulder brace as it's supposed to be done. Just like so. What I like to do, grab that. And voila. This can be a little frustrating, so what I recommend is do the outsides first. If you want to use another method to attach these, you could also do so. But once you have the outsides put in place, then it's really easy just to grab it and get them. That way you're not trying to hold all the parts in place. And voila, there we go. Now, we're going to grab our armor piece. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the part from issue number 9 right here. Get that out of its package. We're going to go ahead and lock these 3 lugs into place. And then using our eye screws, I'm going to get one side connected. And then we'll get it matched up with the other side. So you're just going to do the top 2. You're going to leave the middle one alone. And let's go ahead and grab our other piece of armor here. Link it up just like so. Okay. Grab one of our eye screws. And get it screwed into place. top and bottom. And there it is. Vader's going to be kind of big. Oops. I think Vader's going to be kind of big. Well, there it is. There is stage number 15 all taken care of. Let's go ahead and get on to 16, shall we? All right, so let's grab the magazine for 16. Go ahead and take a quick peek-see. One of my favorite characters, Asajj Ventress. We're going to hopefully see her in live action. I'd like to see her in live action. It'd be really, really cool. One of those characters that starts out as a Darksider, but you really start, because of the development of the character and what have you, man, I got to say, they did an amazing job of giving her a story where you feel compelled to be sympathetic, unlike General Hux. This whiny, snivelly, oh my God. I don't want to keep talking about the sequel trilogy. So anyway, really snivelly character. Good Imperial sort of guy. Only person to make Kylo Ren look worse. We have our chest armor bits. Very simple stage. Here are our instructions. This is what we're going to look like when we're done. Let's go ahead and move on to the build. Get our parts open. There we go. And get our parts out here. And were there any screws in there? Just kind of threw away without looking. So no screws. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to grab the thicker one here on the outside. This one's going to simply, and I say simply, don't get any of your rubber bands knocked off, which I just did. And go ahead and get that clipped into place. Just like so. You want to go through and make sure you press on all the lugs. I'm assuming maybe in the next stage we'll put some screws in. I'm hoping. Looks like there's screw holes, possibly. Let's go ahead and get the second one put in place here. Make sure it all clips into place. Oh, these are designed to be a press fit. So what I am going to do is I have a little bit of glue ready here. Just going to drop some glue on each one of my press fit connection spots here. Just locking everything in place. Oh, be careful. Don't rush like I am. Good Lord. All right. Well, that was a pretty quick and easy stage. I do have to say, very quick and easy. So, stage 16's out of the way. Let's go ahead and get into stage 17, shall we? All right, so stage 17 has us going back to working on our mask again, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at our magazine. There we go. Scimitar class fighter. Once again, another not original trilogy, but this is going to be the prequel trilogy. This is Darth Maul, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Darth Maul's ship, the Scimitar. When he went to Tatooine and famously tried to run down some kid in a motorcycle. Damn, Maul, you crazy bastard. Miggs Mayfeld. Oh, Bill Burr. You don't expect Bill Burr to have some acting chops, but I got to tell you, what we got in season 2, and season 1 really, but what we got in season 2 of The Mandalorian, oh my goodness. He absolutely killed it. Did a great job and is a great foil for Din Djarin's character. I feel like he's fantastic, and I want to see more of him. I hope he's going to be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. We see him in the heist episode in the first season, and then he gets arrested, and then Mando recruits him for work in season 2 to help him get Grogu back, and then they wind up releasing him and letting him go at the very end, which is very, very cool. We have our parts, which is very similar to what we did in the last episode. Our instructions, and that's what we're going to look like when we're done. So let's go ahead and zoom back out here. Open our parts. May open them along the side here. Get all of this out. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and get everything opened real fast, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and grab Darth Vader's face mask. Pull his helmet off to the side. Need to do a little bit of dusting and polishing here. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and remove the lower section of his cowl. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and get the matching pad from up here, put on the other side, just like so. So all you have to do is copy your rotation from the, or not your rotation, but your orientation from the other side and just mirror it. But for sake of reference, we're going to put this flat edge towards the center. And there are guidelines for where to put this. There we go. Just like so. Very cool. I do like the fact that that liner is in there. Now, we're going to go ahead and turn over to this side of the helmet. And as you recall, what I found, it is better to put these pieces in place over the top of each other before installing into the build right here in the corner. And the reason for that is you're not having to press as hard and everything winds up fitting in place really nice and easy, just like so. Excellent. Now we're going to go ahead and get these little details, and if you notice on these slots there's going to be little notches that, like, there's going to be a little corner of this box that is kind of slightly off center, whether it's flat on one side. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is there's going to be a matching part of that on the back of each one of these little details. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here, as these are just a press fit connection, but I do want to put a little bit of glue on the mounting lug to help us secure it in place. So first one, going to go in right here. Just like so. Second one's going to go in right here. A little bit of glue on the mounting lug. And the flat side is top right in this case. Yeah. I am definitely gluing myself to myself right now. Just like so. Oh. There we go. Oh yeah, we're good. And then the third one is going to go right up here at the very top, and it's going to go side to side. So a little glue on the mounting lug. And then into its spot. Matching up on the other side. That turned just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Very cool. Got just a little bit more detail to put up here on the top, and we're getting pretty close to being done with his mask. And now, my friends, 17 is complete. Let's go ahead and move on to 18. Like I said, fairly quick one. Let's go ahead and move on to 18 and see what we got coming up next. All right, so here's 18. Let's go ahead and take a look at our magazine. Guilt and Rage. Oh, Kylo Ren. Oh, Kylo Ren, how you disappoint. It wasn't Adam Driver's fault. They didn't think the character well through all the way. Sequel trilogy. Now, here is a well-written character. Hondo Ohnaka. Probably one of my favorite characters from both the Clone Wars and Rebels. The relationship that he forms with Ezra in Rebels is fantastic. And the fact that he always got one over on the Jedi at all times, also fantastic. I love it. And he's not really a bad guy. He's just kind of a smuggler who did things from time to time. All right, so much like we did 2 stages ago, got a couple chest armor pieces. Going to go ahead and get them installed. Going to wind up with that result. Let's go ahead and get to our parts. All right. There we are. And let's go ahead and get them out of their bags. And then, just much like the last stage, we're going to go ahead and just clip these in place and then go ahead and get a little glue put back behind. So, as you can see here, there are the mounting holes. These are simply going to mount into place. And in some cases, not extraordinarily well. And as on the other side, oh, I see why. Rubber band came off. That's why. So right now, I'm going to start with getting some glue on this lug. Right down here at the back. And I'm going to drop a little kicker on it because whoa. As I need this one to hold on fast. There we go. And then the rest of these will hold in line. A little glue on. Glue on. And I'm just going around the outside of the lug. Okay. Do the same thing with the other one. Get that clipped into place. Then go ahead and get it glued into place. And there we go. And there's his chest armor. Very, very cool. I gotta say, man, that looks so cool. We'll get this cleaned up, obviously. It won't take much, but get my fingerprints off there. But there it is. His chest armor is complete. Let's go ahead and move on to whatever's next. Very cool. All right, so here's stage 19. Let's go ahead and take a look at our magazine. Now we're talking. Now, I love this scene with Krennic and Vader in Rogue One. Fantastic. Really glad that they didn't include Vader in Andor, however. Talking about Vader and how he's part of an outdated religion. This guy straight told him his religion was BS to his face. Like, that's just crazy to me. Dryden Voss. I'm actually I really love his inclusion into the series. Very cool bad guy. I don't think that we got enough of him, and there's been a little glimpse of it here and there. We probably will see a lot more of him, and maybe hopefully voiced by Paul Bettany in the Mall series that we have coming up here very soon. I know a lot of people don't like Solo. I actually do. So I like Woody Harrelson is fantastic in this movie. All right. We have our parts, very simple, and our instructions and our results. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right, so like I said, not a whole lot of substance in these stages, but a lot getting done, a lot of details put in place. So let's go ahead and get our parts out here. We have one side. We have some more of our padding. And then we have another piece of our jigsaw piece here. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab our mask assembly. Oh, no, inside mask. There we go. And this one is going to, let's go ahead and check, is going to fit into place right here. Let's go and get that put in. Take off the back. Carefully line it up. And stick it in place. All right, so half of his padding is done. Almost half. There's probably going to be a little bit more behind here. Well, there we go. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my real color markers here real fast. And I am going to grab my dark aluminum. If I can find that real fast. There we go. Now, for screen accuracy, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and color both ends on the opposite side of the mounting lugs. The beauty of the real color markers is they dry fast. Doesn't need a whole lot of primer, just 2 coats is usually what it takes. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. So, get one there. Get the second one painted up. And one of the very few parts that Todd found did not quite come through as screen accurate on this. And we're just going to run over the top. If you leave a little dark spots here and there, that is totally fine. Gives it kind of a weathered look. Vader does take good care of his armor, but you never know. All right, I'm going to let these dry, get a second coat on them, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've had a chance to get the second coat on, let them dry up a little bit. Doesn't need to be super perfect. I'm not going to try to touch it too much, but what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put in here on the left and right side. So we're going to go ahead and start over here. There are going to be 2 mounting lugs right there. Go ahead and press them into place. Now, first one's in. And the second one in. There we are. I need to do a little touch up here, so I realize I got a little smudge. And the beauty of the AK markers, they're precise. You're all good to go. There it is. All right, my friends. Well, that's the end of stage number 19. Let's go ahead and bring back all the parts and take a look to see where we're at. All right, so we did a little bit of work on the helmet, on all kind of parts of the helmet, except for the main top, which is already done. we completed the assembly of our shoulder pads and his chest armor. And we did a little bit of our first mod work in getting a little bit of our real color AK markers on there. And I got to say, it turned out pretty good. So there it is. Pack number 4 is taken care of. Next month, pack number 5, or when it happens to pop into rotation. But I hope you're looking forward to that just as much as I am. Otherwise, that's what I got for you today. And I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me, watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. You guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember that I sometimes find your lack of faith disturbing.